Hello guys, I'm Tony the vet, and today I'm going to talk to you about getting a kitten. Now, kittens, as we all know, are very, very cute and beautiful little things, but there's a couple of things that you should know about them before you get a kitten. Kittens obviously are going to be in a litter usually. There's going to be more than one, so it's a good idea if you can just to see them when they're with their mum, just so you can have an idea what they might turn into in the future and how big they're going to get. It's also a good chance just to see how healthy the mum is and how healthy all the litter mates are. So your little kitten will be selected or taken home. You'll have a nice good start, and hopefully that will be around 8 weeks old. So the little kitten is going to be weaned. Some of the weaning is going to probably have been done by the time you get your kitten, hopefully. But if there's going to be any food fed by the breeder of the kitten, it's a good idea maybe to take some of that with you or get the same brand, just so the tummy is used to the same food when it gets back to your house. So some of the benefits of having a kitten in your home would be that you're going to have a nice little friend to play with, and you're going to have all the upsides of that and all the social interactions and the laughs. But there are some basic things you need to get right before you let the kitten out. One of the most important things you could do is vaccinate your kitten. The kitten's going to be vaccinated against some of the nasty diseases, which we're just going to show here. If you get any of these diseases, they can be fatal, so it's a really good idea to do the primary course of vaccinations once you have your kitten back at your house, if they haven't already been done. Usually that would involve 2 injections. So the first injection when you get the kitten around 8 weeks old, and then about 3 weeks later often you get the second injection, and that's going to cover your kitten against all the nasty diseases that are out there and make it have a happy, healthy life, hopefully. Another thing you should consider when you've got your kitten home is you might need to worm it if it hasn't already been done. It's quite normal for breeders to worm the kitten before they send it away, but if it hasn't been done, it's a good idea to do it, and you can do that with a tablet, or you can do it with a little liquid, which will hopefully get rid of some of the nasty parasites which are up here. Another thing you can do if it's an outdoor cat, or it's going to be an outdoor cat, and you don't want any external parasites, there are spot-ons, like anti-parasite treatments that you put on the back of the neck, and that will keep all the nasty parasites at bay and hopefully keep your home nice and clean as well and stop the spread of any nasty parasites. So some of the parasites that you might encounter if the cat is going outdoors are listed up here, and they're to be avoided if you can at all. So if you can routinely put the spot-ons on your cat, it'll make life a lot easier for you, and it'll make sure that you're going to stay disease-free. One of the most important things with a little kitten is to feed it correctly. So if you have taken some of the food from the breeder, it's a good idea to maybe either stick with that food for a while or start going on to kitten food once you get them home if they aren't already on it. It's important to remember also that cats are carnivores, so it's important to treat them like the little carnivores that they are. So if you get the diet right, it'll make life a lot easier for your cat and make sure that they're getting all the nutrients and minerals that they need. So it's a good idea just to maybe do a little bit of research on what a cat might need to eat, especially as it's growing, because the food it has when it's little and young is going to be different to when it's an adult. So it's a good idea to do a little bit of research and make sure you're getting the right food for your cat. If your kitten is coming into a multi-cat household or it's on its own, it doesn't really matter. You're still going to have to go through a phase of socializing your kitten and making sure that it's kind of used to your home and your way of doing things. So if there's other cats in the house, if you introduce them slowly, they'll all start getting on together and they'll all find their own spaces and things like that, and life will be okay usually. If it is going to be a solitary kitten, it's important that you make sure that you're playing with it enough, that it's getting enough interaction, it's getting socialized, and it's getting used to people touching it and picking it up and moving it around. It's also a very good idea if you can, if there's certain parts of the house that you don't want the kitten in, to just get them into the routine of not going in those places and maybe making sure that they don't have access to them. Now, kittens tend to be very well able to litter appropriately, so if it is going to be an indoor cat, if you put out a litter tray, or maybe 2, just so they have the extra option to use the different litter trays, especially if you're in an upstairs, downstairs house, it'd be a good idea to have more than 1 litter tray, just so there's no accidents until the kitten's getting used to the new surroundings. But they usually tend to use the litter trays quite readily, and you don't have to do too much to get them to use them. So If you have a litter tray and it's already ready to go, it's fine. If you have cats before that are using the tray, you might want to put a fresh one down just so the kitten isn't put off by any scents and things like that as it gets used to the new home. Now, one of the things you could do for your kitten, just to make sure that if there's any chance that it goes missing or anything like that, that you're going to get your kitten back, is to microchip it. Microchips are very small. They come in a little needle that gets put under the skin and the microchip's inserted. The microchip is then registered to your address and your telephone number is there. So if anyone does end up finding your cat and they take it to a vet's or anyone like that, the vets will scan it and all your details will be on a database and you'll be reunited with your cat. So it's a very good idea to get your cat microchipped if you can. A lot of people worry about their furniture and whether they should or shouldn't get a cat. Now, if you are going to bring a kitten into your home, there's a good chance they are going to start scratching items of furniture. So it's probably a good idea to get a scratching post or something that the cat's associating with scratching. So if you don't do that, some of your furniture will probably take a bit of a hit. So if you can at all, get some scratching posts around the house, just so they have the option to use those instead of using your sofa. One of the other things I would recommend when your kitten hits adolescence or early adulthood is to consider neutering it, especially if you have more than one cat in the home. It's a good idea to get them neutered, especially the little male cats, because you don't want them scent marking your home and things like that. And if you have a female cat that's going outside, if she ends up encountering other cats, she's almost certainly going to have pregnancies, and that can lead to a lot of problems, I guess, if you don't want the kittens and things like that. So it's going to be hard for you to sort of take on the kittens. It's better to get them neutered when they're young. So that's everything from me, from Tony the Vet. Until next week, I'll see you later.